and welcome to my 45 minutes that I'm going to do here. That's going to be it. It is extreme out here right now, but it's not too bad. Not too extreme to where we can't do this. Welcome to the chat, guys. Or to anybody that's here. So make sure I got my trusty cards, which I do. I got the mic thing tonight, but the mic will not be functional. All right. We're out in the middle of the street on a windy ass night, and it's cold as hell, and we're asking people why they're not vegan yet. Let's see how it goes. Hey, even if nobody comes up, anybody watching this that wants to do this kind of activism, keep in mind when we do this, we give the animals a presence. Especially when the word vegan's on the side, especially when other people see us talking to people and they know it's about veganism. It's going to more so prompt them to think and maybe think about how they're being fooled, tricked, and duped by profit narratives. So far I got no one here, so that was a monologue to myself. Hi guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Good night, guys. This might be just me out in the cold talking to people. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Any quick questions? Good night, guys. If nothing else, we stay consistent, right? What's going on, guys? You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Any quick questions? Good night, guys. Okay, so yeah. There's one of you in here now. Hello, one person. Whew, maybe I'll get some of these valet guys over there to come over and have a talk. But the only thing we can do, guys, as vegans and vegan activists, is to reach out. Oh, now it's freezing rain. Great, but it doesn't really matter. What we can do is we can reach out. And more of us that are going out there, that are doing pop-up outreach like this, we reach out. And what's going on, dude? How you doing? Go vegan, man. You can do it. It's 2025. The more we reach out, the more we can kind of illuminate people to how they've been tricked. And that's all this is. This is in spirit of sharing with people how they've been tricked. Hi there. How's it going? Germany. Let's go. Hi guys, you guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
I'm good.
Any questions, set your values? All right, guys. But tonight, you guys might just see me talking to people as they go by. I don't know if people are going to have the wherewithal to stay out in the elements here and sit for a little while. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Testing values tonight. That's it. Have a good night, guys. Yep. There you go. You love cow. I love that. They said they love cows. That's good. I think. Now part of me thinks they said I have cows. We're gonna hope they said they love cows. But yeah, if you're just getting here, like and subscribe. Let's try to full send this stream tonight, guys. I'm out here. I'm dying.
What time does the party start?
I'm in the rain, freezing rain with snow. We got a hot coffee, and we're just out here speaking up for the voiceless. That's it. Party. Hi there. How are you? You want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? All right. Have a good day. So far, I've been rejected. Now, I will say I'm gonna do 45 minutes strong tonight, and then tomorrow night we're gonna be doing the fake B12 Saturday, as opposed to fake B12 Friday. just because I had to switch things up a little bit today. I wanted everybody to see. I wanted everybody to see Gary Yourofsky's live and direct everybody to Gary Yourofsky's live with Misfit Vegan. Gary Yourofsky does not take vitamins or supplements. Gary Yourofsky is a raw vegan. He eats raw, which is cool. Oh, what's up, Martin? How you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, 1220. Oh, well, I appreciate you. What's up, Daniel? What's going on? Hi there. What's going on, buddy? You want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? All right, man. No biters yet. Like I said, guys, this might be tough to get someone to stop in this. I got my hoodie on tonight. This is one of the nastiest days all year. So we're seeing before us tonight one of the nastiest days I think I've seen all year. It snowed all day, and now it's tempering down with some freezing rain, but we don't care. We're out here for the animals. That's more important than whatever. We want consistency. We want, all of us. I know there's fellow outreachers and vegan activists in the chat. Consistency, outreach, consistency, perpetual outreach, perpetual presence, scaling perpetual presence. More and more of us coming out here, giving the animals a voice. That's the way to do it. Because the more presence proliferates, then the more we make people kind of feel funny about what they're doing. And that's the goal. We want people to think. We want people to critically think how they've been tricked by narratives. And it's a lie. It's one big lie. And it's very not nice to keep this lie perpetuating. So we try to help people see that they've been lied to. Someone says, get a job and a girlfriend. Thank you for that, Starlight. Appreciate that. 24 years to realize you can't truly learn the golden rule while eating animals. Daniel said, that's perfect. You cannot be a liver of the golden rule. What's going on, guys? You want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Just touch your values a little bit?
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Merry Christmas.
You too. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Did anybody see Gary Yourofsky's, but going on, yeah, Daniel, 100%. And what Daniel said, everybody look at Daniel's text. You cannot be an actual embodier of the golden rule or teach anybody to be an embodier of the golden rule if you still eat animals. And it's really not your fault. You've been tricked to think that you need them for health, and you don't. And we're here to tell you that you've been lied to, and that your true nature is that of a protector and a guardian. And no matter how you spin it, no matter how you rationalize it or gymnastics it, you are voting for violence and bullying when you are not vegan. There's no way around this. And the beautiful thing today, we can communicate to our human brother and sisters how we are oppressing our animal brother and sisters. Anybody see Gary Yourofsky's interview with Misfit Vegan? Just now, an hour and a half long. Fantastic. Gary is inspirational as ever. He just motivates me. Like his energy, his raw energy, his intensity. He is, he turned me vegan. I don't know if he turned anybody else in the chat vegan. But what a great interview that was. Gary told Misfit Vegan that he does not take vitamins or supplements. And Gary is a raw vegan. Should check out some of Misfit Vegan's interviews with, what's going on, buddy? With Doug Graham, where she interviews Doug Graham. He's a vegan doctor and is actually the vegan doctor that Gary follows, which is one of the actual doctors out there. Instead of these fake plant-based doctors. Shadow Knight, they are children of God. You've just been duped. What's going on, guys? You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Yeah, they're children of God, and you're definitely not following in the footsteps of Jesus if you're not vegan. You're doing what the devil wants you to do. That's what you're following, buddy. You are doing what the devil wants you to do, and We've all been kind of duped, fooled, and tricked, and granted and green-lighted to rationalize our doings, because 99% of the collective are doing the same thing, and it's being momentumed as normal. So you can get away with it in your head, but I'm here to tell you, it's not Christian. It's if you're actually you're trying to live definitively by Christ. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Just testing values out on the street tonight.
I love meat.
It's not nice, man. It's not nice. You're a big guy. You gotta be a protector. Guy just said, I love meat. Big dude. Big dude. But he's gonna go around and he's gonna bully little ones. If you guys saw my last post, what's going on, guys? Anybody want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? My last post was kind of pointing to, how to communicate when we're talking to people. And that goes towards, and in terms of when we're in a person-to-person conversation. When someone entrusts us with their time, which that's what happens in street activism. Someone comes over and entrusts us with their time because they're curious. Maybe they heard a whisper that told them to go over. And, I think it'd be really cool if everybody watched that video. It's just kind of pointing for other vegan activists to move forward with person-to-person dynamics and conversations in the spirit of partnership, not in the spirit of me versus you and ego. Me versus you and the whole debate dynamic is ego. But when people walk by like that guy and tell me that, sorry, I love meat, it's delicious, right to, my face while I'm out here trying to defend our little buddies, we're going to proportion strength with strength. We're going to call it what it is. We're going to tell him what he's doing is not nice, which we did. Hi, guys. Let's go vegan, guys, 2025. Hi, guys. Thanks for all of you that are still here. I see my algo is still tempered. Big surprise. Doesn't matter. YouTube, if you're listening, I don't care if I go down to 0. If you limit me to 1 person per stream, I'll be out here every week, baby. Standing up for them. Doesn't matter. Of course, the more people we can earshot, the better. That's why we try to make shorts, try to launch shorts in the spirit of sharing the vegan message. But just being here, out here, invoking presence for the animals, that's the secret sauce. And the trick is, and the real equalizer will be more and more and more of us coming out and doing this. Okay, I got 2 gym bros coming up here. Let's see if I can bait them in to talk. Hi, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? A few quick questions?
All good.
Oh, man. Testing values tonight. Not being vegan is not being nice. Guess not. What's going on, buddy? Hi. And if we can leave them with something before they leave, they may never experience us again. Leave them with something, something that'll pique their curiosity, maybe make them think, maybe make them angry and want to come back and talk. And if they do that, it's nothing but a net positive, because I'm going to take that person and I'm going to show them how they've been lied to. They're acting against their own values. And we're going to do that in the spirit of partnership, not me versus you ego, which is so many activists, I say with quotes, exact into their dynamics, which does absolutely effing nothing for our little animal brother and sisters. Hi, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
No, thank you.
Questions? All right, guys. Not being vegan is not being nice. Guys, I'm staying until 45 minutes tonight. That's going to be my max. And then tomorrow night, we're doing fake B12 Saturday. We switched it for Friday and Saturday. What's going on, guys? Let's go vegan 2025, guys. It's 2025. Time to go vegan, everybody. But yeah, I thought that was a really good interview that Gary did with Misfit Vegan. If you guys get a chance to watch it, it's got to be done by now. Go watch it. I mean, Gary's just a legend. Just a legend. And speaking of legends, um, my my friend Dr. Will Tuttle, also a legendary animal rights activist, um, he and me are going to do another talk end of the month or beginning of next month. I had talked to him today, and yeah, we're doing another one, and this one is going, well, at this point, we're in talks of doing it about intuition and recognizing our true nature and how to operate out of that. I've just read and finished his book, Your Inner Islands. Will wrote an amazing essay called Row, Row, Row Your Boat about 3 months ago, and we're going to touch on those things too. So stay tuned. I'll be floating that as soon as I have a date and time. Yeah. Will definitely has the most interviews that I've done on my channel. I think this is our number 7 interview. Oh, man. If you're just getting here, the chances of me getting people over here to talk to are a little slimmer tonight, being the elements. We're out in the snow and the rain. Hi, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Just testing values. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Oh, it's not nice. 18-month-olds, man. Toddlers, buddy. They're toddlers. And then they laugh. It's not nice. That's the state we're in right now. We're these little children. These children, they just walk by and laugh. I mean, they're children. I mean, there's always room for change. They're just very, let's just say, over inundated by all the messagings. Hi guys, you guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Secret questions? But I'm sorry, you're gonna walk by and say that crap. You're not getting away with it when I'm out here giving every nanosecond of time to the animals for 45 minutes in this freaking cold. Not gonna happen. Hi guys, you guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
Oh, we're good.
Questions? All right guys, 2025, you can do it.
Yeah.
Go do something with your life, says Jack. It's funny, Jack. What's your idea of doing something with your life, Jack? Let me ask you that. Let me flip that on you. What's going on, dude? You want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Yeah, Gary is. That interview was awesome too. What's going on, guys? Oh, I love you. Thanks for listening. Have a great night. The universe made meat the tastiest food ever to stop people like this all throughout history. The body needs it. What is it in meat that the body needs? What's going on, guys? You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
We're all right.
Come on, guys. Got to grow up. 2025. We can do it. Yeah, what is it in meat that you need? Could you tell me that? Can you lament that? Because if you're going to say something like that, you might want to have some kind of factual data to back it up. What's in it that you need, man? Honestly, I don't think our friend even knows. I don't think Scott knows, guys. There you go. Meat's the tastiest. I could probably make a human taste pretty good too. Should I eat a human? I could probably cut up, season, sauce, and texture, put them on the grill, do whatever I want to flavor them, and make a human taste fantastic. Maybe we should all eat humans. Hi guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
Oh, I am vegan.
Oh, let's go. You're the guardian. Let's go. All right. You're a guardian if you're vegan. One said she's a vegan. It's awesome. And the other two, hopefully they'll listen to her and lead by her example. It's not good for us, Scott. You're saying that plaque-promoting cholesterol and all kinds of fats, salts, hormones, growth factors, things that are correlated to cancer, diabetes, and heart disease are good for us, bro. I Ugh. Milk butter. I see what we're doing here. I see what we're dealing with here. Um, but yeah, there's everything we need is from the earth, guys. Hi guys, you guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? A few questions, test your values. Take 5 minutes. Have a good night, guys. Take care.
So last time she actually flew out here and did both the paper.
Hi guys.
And then she did.
You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Just test your values. 5 minutes. Have a good night, guys. Oh, Scott. Okay. Oh boy. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, everything you need is from the earth, man. You get every single thing you need from the earth. You don't need any kind of extra vitamins or minerals. Everything comes from the fruit and the vegetables. B12 does not exist. I'll say it again. Hi guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Have a good night, guys. B12 does not exist. It was made up by a pharmaceutical company to fearmonger vegans and to weaken the vegan message. Its whole utility is to devolve the strength of the vegan option, the diet. And we as vegan activists should not be telling people to take B12. It is disingenuous to the animals, unfortunately. It pays homage to the false narrative that keeps the vegan diet looking weak. Hi guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? 2 quick questions? 5 minutes. Up to you. All right, guys. Have a good night. I know it's cold. I almost had them. God. My hair is all messed up. I feel like I need some air, though. Organism compared an organism compared to a pinch? What does that mean? What's the difference in taste between regular meat and vegan meat? That's a great question, Miss Bunny. Thanks for asking that question. No difference at all. If you want to eat meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, I guarantee you I can find the vegan version of meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. Am I saying they're healthy? Hell no, I'm not saying they're healthy. But am I saying you're taking the animal out of the equation and voting for that violence with your ballot, aka your dollar? Yeah, and I can tell you exactly where to find them. I can tell you what brands. You want to find the spot-on version, we got you covered. But the thing is, when your why is strong enough, the taste isn't going to matter. When you realize that you're voting for somebody, a being, to die on your watch because of your action that doesn't need to die, that why eclipses that whole taste factor. But if you really want it and you think it'd be helpful for a transition, 100% get the vegan version of that meat. All right, I think I'm going back with my hoodie. I'm halfway through, guys, and I'm freezing. We're gonna make it our goal to get one conversation. What's going on, guys? Want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? A few quick questions. How about you guys? A few quick questions. All right. I think I saw those guys earlier. Exactly. Thank you, Daniel. I'm trying to do like a kind of a raw until 2 p.m. thing right now, and I've been pretty successful in it. I'll wake up, I'll have bananas, I'll have apples. Today I had a bunch of apples and some grapefruit. And then around 3 o'clock or so, I tilt to cooked food. What's going on, guys? Anybody want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Not vegan, no, guys.
They feel sorry.
You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
Oh, no, it's okay.
A few quick questions. Just test your values. 5 minutes. Oh, it's not nice. That's a little child, man. It's a kid. We call a spade a spade. You tell me you like meat too much, I'll tell you that's a kid. So the challenge is, guys, anybody watching this, we need more and more and more and more outreachers. We need more of us to pop up. I know it seems anxiety ridden from the start, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And once you start looking at things like more in the spirit of partnership and teamwork and less me versus you, the anxiety can really temper away. Um, it's really about helping. Once people stop to listen, you want to help them see that they've been lied to. You want to help them see that they don't agree with this crap. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan
We're
yet?
almost there.
Oh, let's go. You can do it. All the way, man. You got it. You know, animals need it all the way. Have a good night. We can't just be we can't just be almost there. We got to be all the way there. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan
Nope,
yet?
oh, right there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know that's right. We have our friendly neighborhood police walking by. What's up, buddy? Uh-oh, we got the abortion talks going on already. I don't know how this dialogue seems to tractor beam into vegan outreaches. Pro-abortion. All I'll say is this: if you're pro-choice or pro-life, you got to be vegan or you're being a hypocrite. How you doing? What's going on, guys? I know they ain't gonna stop. Look at, you can see that's what we're dealing with here. Hey, I'm gonna do something for a short. Bear with me. So tonight we are doing animal activism out on the streets. The temperature is near sub-zero. It is freezing rain, but we are out here to speak up for them. We're out here to ask people why they're not vegan yet. We're here to talk to people, get engaged in conversations in the spirit of compassion, partnership, tell them that they've been lied to, help them align their actions with their sovereignties that have been so robbed by them by profit narratives. This is Pop-Up Vegan Outreach. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
Oh, I'm all good.
Your questions and set your values. 3 minutes. Oh, it's a toddler, man. It's a child. It's a child. When we're voting and we're eating, that guy just walked by and said, "I'm about to go eat a burger." We tell him that's a child because that's what it is. We're out here to be no holds barred when it comes to, you know, invoking a presence for the animals. And when it comes time for conversation, we're going to do that very smartly and intuitively. Hey, Anna, how you doing? What's going on? Nice to see you. Anna and Daniel, two legendary activists in here right now. Just so you know, guys, I won't be here for that long. It's kind of freezing out here. We got 27 minutes on the counter. We're going to 45 tonight. And then we'll call it. My goal. Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. That's what we'll go with. I'll mix it up. Next time we'll go with that. What was I going to say? Yeah, my goal tonight in the next 17 minutes is to get one solid conversation. One solid conversation. That's all I want now. What's going on, dude? You want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Ooh. Cold shoulder. Hi, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Super questions? Set your value. 3 minutes. Okay. Have a good night, guys. Ah. Hi, guys. You're hurting your own cause. People hate that shit. Okay. Okay, Annie. Coach says 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55. That's amazing. You know, you can get do all those, but the vegan version of.
I don't know. I just can't tell you right now.
What's going on, guys? You guys want to try this? Aren't you vegan yet?
Nah, it's all right. No, thank you.
All right, guys. 2025, you can do it. Tell the Academy. Those are Naval Academy guys here in my town.
Now I think.
Yeah, Annie, I think, Annie, you just got here. I don't know if you understand how we're going about this. All right, have a good night, guys. But nobody knows if they don't get outreach. So, yeah, people can hate that shit. You know, people may hate this shit. but we're trying to do this to help people to see that they've been lied to by narratives. And the messaging that people get through 99.999% of their days is not from from sources that want to help them. So just something to think about. Coach says, I will eat 2 steaks tomorrow to cancel you out. So you're going to eat 2 little children tomorrow, 2 toddlers, because those kids that you're eating are 18 to 24 months olds, or 18 to 24 month olds. That's how old they are when they're killed for your steak, buddy. It sounds so macho, it sounds so epic. Oh, I'm going to eat this steak. You know, I'm going to eat 2 of them for you tomorrow. But what you're essentially telling me, bruh, is that you're going to hurt a child, pay for them to get killed, so you can eat them? Not macho, not anything to, I mean, it's something to be ashamed about, but I wouldn't say it's anything to brag about. Imagine a corpse burger with maggots wiggling out of it. Oh God, that reminds me of what I saw when I first went vegan. Is the video I saw of this bodybuilder that had all these worms in his stomach because of the meat that he was eating. It was absolutely disgusting. It's incredible, but we're so tricked to thinking this is normal. All right, I gotta get serious here. Gotta get serious. There's nobody around. Oh man, but that interview with Gary was awesome. Everybody go watch that interview with Gary Yourofsky on Misfit Vegan's YouTube channel. Keep in mind, Gary Yourofsky does not, and Jeanette asked him if he takes supplements. He says he does not. He does not take vitamins or supplements. And Gary Yourofsky is raw. So it's pretty cool. You know, you don't need anything. He talked about his activism days. He talked about his angles on things. He talked about his current situation right now. He's such a badass. All right, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Test out your values a little bit. 5 minutes. Have a good night, guys. Yeah, me too. I watched the whole thing. Everybody watched that Gary Yourofsky interview and spit some wisdom when it comes to activism too. He spit some wisdom, man. The OG animal rights activist. Hi guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
No, good.
A few quick questions. Not being vegan is not being nice, guys. Have a good night. Maybe we can get this police officer. What's going on, officer? How are you? Nice to see you. I'm doing good. Trying to start some positive conversations tonight.
I know that's right, man. Stay
Have a
warm.
good night. Stay warm. You too. When you come out here, you get to see all get to know all the cops, at least the ones that hang around. What's going on, guys? What's going on, dude? You want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? And then every once in a while, you get the no responders. I'm carnivore and the healthiest I ever been. Oh my God. Well, my friend, what you're doing is just not nice. My friend, you are paying for somebody to die for your taste buds, for your quote unquote nutrition that you can get from a plant-based diet. And, you know, the whole little title of carnivore that they've so acutely given themselves, it just reflects savagery, barbarism, and an excuse to get our guns off in the spirit of some kind of trend or health. I hate to be harsh on you, but sometimes you got to unsettle people to get them to think a little bit. There's nothing you need from that carnivore diet. I don't buy this crap that all of our bodies are built different. I respond to a carnivore. No, you don't. You're an herbivore. That's what you are. Hi, guys. These little baby teeth back here, they ain't going out into the woods to tear apart some savage animal with no tools, no nothing. You're an herbivore. What's going on, guys? You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? You have some questions? We're doing interviews tonight. Why aren't you vegan yet? Up to you. You'll be on YouTube Live. 5 minutes. Test your values. That's it. Not being vegan is not being nice. 2025.
You can eat bacon.
You can do it.
Vegan, right?
You can't. Well, you can eat bacon, but the vegan version of. There's plenty of versions of it out there now. And there's one you're voting for violence, and the other one, you're not voting for violence. So it's cut and dry. Cut and dry. We've just been taught that it's kind of silly to think of it that way. You know, I was taught that same thing. I get it. But yeah, that's the truth of the matter. Have fun, guys. Anyway. Well, it's not. Carnivore eating is not ethical, my friend. It's not. There's no way to paint it like that. There's no way to... No, as a man, no. When you're a carnivore, you're going around saying, I'm a carnivore, I'm a man, whatever, you're saying you taking the life of a little child that just wanted to live, an 18 to 24-month-old, is somehow manly. No. We reject that notion. Kylie says...
Ask him why he doesn't like. Ask him if he likes broccoli.
Oh hell, I'm sure he does. Hey, we're all born vegan, man. I know, but there's another veggie you like. I know there's another veggie you like. Yeah, I tried getting them over, but it was a fail. But that was funny. Those guys I was just talking to, they had a little child with them, and they said, "You want to ask him if he likes broccoli?" And the kid said, "No." Do you know what, though? On a serious note, guys, we are all born vegan. We're all born from our true nature into this embodied life, and we're born from just a nexus of love and compassion, and that comes with a reflexive acting of the golden rule in all that we do and all that we will or would do. But that is stripped, taken, and robbed from us by separatist narratives of greed, money, power, and control. And, you know, beautiful thing about this kind of outreach is we can share with people the lies of which we've adopted as a collective, and share with them that we still have that whisper of our true nature that can lead us back to fully recognizing it and acting with kindness and compassion. Because we can believe and we can give lip service to this ceremony of golden rule, I'm kind, be kind, but when we buy meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, we are buying evil, we are buying violence, and we are buying the antithesis of our true nature. All right. 37 minutes. I'm going to do 8 more minutes and I'm out, guys. And but I will be thoughts on RFK Jr. I will be doing fake B12 Saturday tomorrow. Hi guys, you guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? 2 quick questions. Fake B12 Saturday. Come to it. We'll be fielding out Q&A again, doing some open discussion. I'm thinking about putting the link in there. I don't know what time, so anybody that wants to come in and talk and discuss it can come talk and discuss it. There won't be any debating, so the second someone tries to start debating, because this is a fact. There is no arguing it. But we can have live discussions on the channel, and I can bring people on, we can talk, and have, very dynamic engagements. But yeah, so that's tomorrow night. I was going to do it tonight, but we wanted everyone to see Gary Yourofsky's speech tonight or his interview with Misfit Vegan. Hi guys, you want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Yeah. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night at 10 p.m. And we're just going to keep doing it every single Friday and Saturday. Because people deserve to know. Supporting that whole initiative. Once you know better, that's the key. Is not vegan. It's just not vegan. Hi guys. You guys want to try this? Aren't you vegan yet?
No, we're gonna go get tacos.
Oh, let's go. Make them veggie, man, for me. And the animals. What do you say? Yep, veganism is about empathy and ethics. Exactly. Shadow, when are we going to get you vegan, man? Shadow's still in here. What's his name? I don't know, maybe he's gone now. He keeps coming to he's one of our perpetual kind of troll characters, but I know there's a vegan underneath that character. There he is. He's still in here. Here he goes. Someone please answer this man this question. This is his perpetual. Hi guys. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I don't know how you can't see that for yourself yet, Shadow. I'm sure you've gymnastics yourself into some kind of perspective, which makes it easier for you to sleep at night. But maybe you can just share with us, because I'm not about to go off on that tangent for 5 minutes, or it doesn't even need 5 minutes. But I'm not gonna. If you don't understand that, I don't know how I can really contribute to your learning anymore, my friend. Oh, Vane. Yeah. Are you Vane, Shadow? Are you the same one as Vane? Because that's what a few of us think. Vane is just lost in the lab. He's lost in the lab with some of our fellow vegan activists that marry science with veganism in a very disingenuous and just not a good way. I think my right hand, it's freezing, even though, this is weird because my left hand's not, but my right hand has a glove, and my right hand is literally about to freeze off. But this hand is fine. I don't know, is it because I've had my hand in my pocket? I don't even realize recollect. I remember. City's starting to get popping, but everyone's moving like from point A to point B like really fast. No one's trying to be out in this. But we did the best we could, you know? We had a few little quips back and forth, not back and forth, but with a few people. We invoked a nice presence for the animals out here tonight. And, you know, when people see our sign, they know we're talking about veganism. They know, if they've heard the word, they know its implications. And the more people that come out and start doing pop-up outreach, the more people will inevitably turn on their critical thinking machines and realize they're not aligning actions with value. Yeah, you know, I have a coat. I mean, I feel warm right now, Dominion. It's my hands, and it's really my head. I mean, freaking... I need to get like something really warm for my hair, because, hi guys, second chance, guys.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Oh my God, amazing. Okay, you guys, I was about to leave too. I was like, I need one conversation.
We were actually just talking about it too.
Oh, heard. Okay, they were just talking. Are you guys being okay on my YouTube live?
Sure. Yeah.
All it is a bunch of.
It's a good conversation.
It's a great conversation. And
Yeah.
It's not what you expect to see when you're walking down the street. It's kind of a novel happening. Animal outreaches, right?
Yeah.
But my name's James. You know, I come out here. I talk to people. I just ask them a few questions. Have you guys heard the word vegan before?
Of course,
Yep,
yeah. My
yep.
cousin's vegan too.
Oh, okay,
so, yeah.
heard. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so like at Thanksgiving, try to accommodate her and all.
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah, it can be tough
Yeah.
for us Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
These are troubled waters that kind of present sometimes. But I would say, what do you think it means on like just your general idea of it? Like, what do you think it pertains to?
Your choice to like not eat animals or animal products, I guess, and then also probably in association with you know, animals being harmed is
Yeah,
like the reason behind that.
totally. Let me get this. This will make it more dynamic for the camera. I have a little mic on me. Too.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, the food thing, it's a consequential thing. We automatically reflect or kind of reflexively go to food when we think of the word vegan. It is consequential, right? But it's not really anything to do with veganism. Veganism is much deeper than that. It's kind of a notion, an ethos, and all it really is the golden rule. You can unpack it and use big words and go on and on and on. But you know the golden rule?
Yeah, do unto others what
Okay.
you what do unto
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
That's all it is. That's literally all it is. Are you guys for animal abuse or against animal abuse?
Say,
I'm against it.
against, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like certain
Reflexively, right?
there's like there's gray areas sometimes with it, how people define it. I think
Yeah.
it depends on what
Yeah.
how you see it.
I would contest that when you're taking somebody's life, that's worse than abuse.
Yeah.
Would you think so?
I think you can rationalize it
Yeah.
because we're living beings. We're all living beings,
Yeah.
but we also have there's a hierarchy to it. As humans, I think being intelligent creatures, animals don't have the same equality. I'm sure that their lives are important, but I don't think they're as equal as humans.
Yeah, I think it may be able to be framed that there's a certain meta facet that we have that they don't have. Like they're sentient. You know what that means?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, they're sentient. They have eyes to see. They can feel pain. They can have loved ones. They can love a family, really. But we have kind of an uptick in meta awareness where we can be aware that we're aware. They're aware. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit a difference there. But your first two questions you answered perfect, right? So I'll digress a little bit. The third question is, what nutritionally do you think you need from it?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not the nutritionist here. I think you'd be better to answer that.
I don't know. It's all the macronutrients, protein, fats. I know you can get that all from animals,
Yeah.
but I think it's probably more dense.
Dense.
From plants. It's probably
Yeah.
more dense in
Yeah,
animals.
yeah, I would say it may be more dense or consolidated or just
Right.
packed in there, right? But like, can you name me a vitamin or a nutrient or anything that you cannot get from a vegan diet that's only in the animals?
No, but just think it's more consolidated, right? So
okay, the
have to
consolidated density.
get from less sources and pretty
Yep.
much eat less.
Yeah, not
Yes.
off the top of my head. I do know
Okay.
some weight, like I've seen some crazy like weightlifters, people who look super healthy, and turns out they're vegan, right?
Yeah.
And you would never think that, right? You think
Oh,
they
yeah,
were,
yeah.
complete carnivore diet and all that. So
Yeah.
there's definitely a way of doing it.
Yeah,
I
you
just
can
think the
get there.
path is a lot more difficult,
Yeah.
given someone's like finances and the lifestyle they want.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, so I'm here to give you a challenge today. There's a reason you intercepted me. There's a reason you're my last person here before I get the heck out of here. It's so god darn cold. But I told everybody I'd give 45 minutes for the animals tonight, and that's what I did. So the consolidation, the density, yes, we get that, right? But I've been vegan 13 years. My daughter's vegan since birth. She doesn't take vitamins or supplements. She does martial arts. She plays the piano. She's so active, it's ridiculous. We've been taught that there are all these barriers, and we've been taught by certain profit narratives that seek to just keep being profit narratives and siphoning the lion's share of all monies into their control, the wealth, power kind of nexus, right? There's so much money I mean, you can imagine what's tied up in animal ag, and pharma, in big medicine, and science and stuff like that. There's so much money that's just infested into all that.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that all these reasons that you may think are barriers, they're all lies, and you can get by all of them. And like those first two questions I asked you, if animal abuse is something you're okay with, and pointing to the vegan diet, if you agree with those two notions, you're vegan at heart. And it's just tough because we're going around, we're voting against that every day.
Could I go back to a point you made?
Yeah.
You were asking about do you want to others as you want
Yes,
to yourself?
yes.
So we see killing animals, or at least you do as a bad thing. But
Yes.
say if taking life is out of necessity, so say if that's in a war or self-defense,
Yeah.
right? So that's a necessary time. We justify it.
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, they justify it as like eating as
Yeah.
necessity in that situation.
Yeah.
I'd like to add on to that too, is that I feel humans are by nature omnivores, and if we focus and only eat certain species of animals, we're affecting the biodiversity at a more alarming rate than had we mixed up that selection.
Okay.
So I think there's a huge environmental concern with that. Even with farming, say if we made so many people vegans, they'd have to rely on a plant diet, and we'd have to farm more.
Right,
So that would take
killing
up more
the
land. Potentially, I know there's like animals require land to.
A lot more
lot of
actually.
land.
Do you know
Is it?
how much more?
No, I don't.
No.
So it's an 8-to-1 ratio, right? So Cal exacts its kind of inter-anatomical mechanisms on 8-to-1 ratio basis, right? So it takes in 8 units of energy, outputs 1. So copy and paste that idea, and now parlay that into the idea of environment. And you're killing 8 times less plants, you're killing 8 times less rodents affiliated with agriculture, you're freeing up 8 times more land, everything is 8 times.
Okay.
So we get more efficient. There's this movie called Cowspiracy that's out there. You got to
Okay.
watch that. And it breaks down everything. I don't like to tell people to watch things because you have to look at everything with a very scrutinous eye
Of course,
and a
yeah.
free thinker's eye. Like I don't tell people to look at research studies. That's for damn sure. I don't tell people to follow certain people just because you just have to use your gut. There's certain interests that are underneath all of that. Just even movies that you think would be.
Sure.
But this is a good movie. I think this has a lot of good information in it.
Okay.
What did you say before? Oh yeah, something about. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So that right there, I would say that certain people that are in different geographic regions that have no choice and they have to kill to survive and they have to provide for their family, I would call them vegans. Does that sound crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I
It
would
sounds
say that
crazy.
if I heard that first glance. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds crazy because it's like, what? They're eating and they're killing animals, but they're doing their best. And we're here in our particular context. And our best is doing the bare minimum, and that's just yielding animals vitally autonomy. And that's just taking the dollar out of the gamut. That's the best we can do. The best we can do is be vegan. They might not be able to do that, but we can. And that's something we have to have an inflection point with right now in 2025, especially young people like us, more so you guys, while moving into these new frontiers.
How about do you think it's fine for people to hunt? If again, you see that as more like ethical because they're living.
Massively. I mean, honestly, I think the hunting culture, I think people, if they really looked at what they were doing on a very general basis and broke things down, like, and you really looked at hunting more intuitively, you realize that you're really going into somebody's living room and preying on them and against their will, taking everything from them, their families, their life, their kids. I mean, if we don't need that meat, which we don't, I don't know of any hunter in the U.S. that actually needs it to survive. It's all recreational. It's all sport. It's all kind of, in a way, I hate to say this, but it's bloodlust, and we can window dress that with all kinds of rationalizations and gymnastics. But at the end of the day, when you get down to it, it's bloodlust, and there's no need for it. So I mean, I'm vegan, so by default, I'm against hunting. And I would even say, and somebody that I listened to today made a lot of sense when they said, I mean, hunting is even more psychopathic. Like, it's beyond even just eating meat. So I know that sounds harsh, but we have to keep the messaging strong out here for our little animal brothers and sisters, What would stop you guys from going vegan?
I think for a lot of people, including us, is just the lifestyle. It's a rational choice to go down that path because you're making sacrifices, especially financially, and also like
It's
I'm
seemingly
sure,
financially. Let me intercept that.
I think it could be argued.
It can be cheaper. In fact, it is cheaper if you're eating beans, chickpeas, like the stuff that's cheap. The healthier foods are cheaper, by the way.
I have a question about that. So, like plant proteins, for example, your body can't digest as well as like animal proteins, so you have to eat more. And then going back to your point,
This is something that's speculated. This is not fact. I've heard this too. You're going off of like maybe science or some research or something along those lines.
Right.
Let me break that right from the beginning and just say, look at anything science. I don't care if it's plant-based. I don't care if it's carnivore. With a scrutinous eye, and know that there's an interest underneath that vehicle, interest underneath that messaging. And right now, all the leverage is in the hands of animal agriculture. So I listen to something like that right off the bat, it goes in one ear out the other. I've been vegan 13 years. Like, I process protein, I would say, better than most of my peers, based on how I look, how I function, my athletics. So they say that. And maybe there is some truth to it. Because if you look at when you're eating an animal, they're more, their archetype is more reflective of our archetype, right? Like the chest, whatever, everything is more reflective of our archetype than eating a plant.
Do you think that when animals eat other animals, it's sorry for interrupting?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like the philosophy behind that, I mean, they're killing each other, and it's a natural process. So is it? Are they doing any wrongdoing?
Oh, well, you see, it goes back to that kind of meta thing you were talking about earlier, right?
Okay.
We know, and we know that we know. We're aware, and we're aware that we're aware, right? Animals are kind of more obligatory along those lines, more just automated, right? Like a lion has an obligatory sense that it has to go and kill a living animal and eat it right there. To be the carnivore that he is. By the way, all this talk about carnivores, like carnivore diets, everyone's a fake carnivore that's saying they're a carnivore because they're not eating living food. They're eating, that's still granting that we're calling animals food, but you're eating something that's been dead. We're doing what vultures do.
No, it's
a
true.
true
Yeah,
carnivore
I
is a
get
lion
that. Yeah.
that actually eats the animal living, and they know intuitively that they
Right.
need that animal.
But what
living
difference
to
does it
get
make
nutrition.
if the animal is going to die anyway, right?
Well,
It's-
I mean, in like an offshoot outlier, different scenario.
is the point of the animal in the environmental process? Is it not the point for everything to die?
well, it's
And they all create a chain reaction. Their purpose is to die and feed the cycle again. Something's going to eat off of you. Decomposers are going to eat you. So like, is there not?
Well, I think there's kind of a moral responsibility here. We're agents, right? Have you heard of moral agency?
Yes.
Okay. Lion doesn't have that, but we have that, right? And our intuition will tell us that when we do things to animals like vote for meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, it goes against our intuition. It goes against our values.
Could I make a point? So to your point about like not eating those animal products and stuff, I would say like your idea seem more like a religion, like because you're following a certain moral basis,
okay.
and not everyone agrees with that just because of where they might live in the world and their different beliefs. And I think it comes to a difference.
I think, yeah, religion's an interesting way to posture it. Because I could flip that and I could say all the narratives that are telling us to eat meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, it's very culty and very cult-like. Like the hunters that go out and have this whole trending, thing that they say, do, and act on is very cult-like and religious. When I started out, I just basically said it's an idea, right? It's a notion. It's the golden rule. But actually acting on it. We're not asking you to go secular with any kind of believing in a God, or anything like that. We're just asking you to believe in choice. If you think you champion choice, like you kind of pointed to that at the beginning, and you said it's a choice to eat a certain way. If you actually believe in choice, you are vegan, because there's a third factor in this whole choice scenario, and that's the animal outlook. And when you take their choice away, any kind of self-exerting notions on choice, they just become null and void, because you have no ground to stand on while you're taking their choice. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And I know it sounds harsh, but this is just like a little interception, just to have you guys walk away today. I got some cards. If you take some cards,
Sure. Yeah,
and it's all in the spirit of love and compassion.
Yeah,
Because
no,
we try to point to how we've been fooled. Because I was telling a few people earlier that we're born vegan. Really, we all are. We're born compassionate. We're born goodwill.
How about the fact that like you need to nurse like a baby, so that's not.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a card for you.
Thank you.
And a card for you. Also, check out the book, The Enigma of Vitamin B12. It's fantastic. It'll dissolve the whole B12 argument.
What do you
if
think
you've
about
ever heard
vitamins
this.
actually? Like the harvesting of plants. I mean, do you think some people say that vitamins are, I guess fake or something, or
Yeah.
because there's no, they want to say there's no government proof about it, or no, like the research
Yeah.
doesn't study.
It's because pharma needs money. So
Oh
they
no,
have-
I agree.
they have
I
to come
definitely
up
see
with
it.
this stuff.
Like
They grant-
doctors are not educated in this stuff.
Yeah,
because,
science granulates things, so you get all these little titles for fancy things. Everything's separated, and pharma levers that. They monetize it. Everything proliferates. And pharma, science, animal ag, they're making bank. They're laughing all the way to the bank because of all this, like kind of granulating things into vitamins and minerals, right? You just eat intuitively. Eat from the earth. You don't think about it. You don't count anything. You eat till you feel full. You'll be amazed. You'd be amazed. So I'm not a fan of the whole vitamin narrative. I call it a narrative. But that book's good. The World Peace Diet, written by Will Tuttle, is on there as well. If you want to learn about like the kind of ethos stuff that I was talking about in the beginning and how veganism is much bigger than the diet. And there's a speech on there called The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear by a guy named Gary Yurovsky, who I just listened to in an interview a few hours ago that inspired me to actually come out tonight because it's so effing cold. But I listened to this man talk, I'm like, I'm going out there tonight. His speech is on there.
Okay.
That speech 13 years ago, I watched it once, and I said, who is this bald mother effer? Forget him. I'm going to continue eating my meat, my cheese, my milk, my eggs. I laughed. I made fun of him. I told my wife about him. And then a week later, something just whispered to me, and it said, watch it again. And so I sat down, watched it again. I went through the whole thing. And then I kind of took stock, and the rest is history. I told my wife, I need you to watch this. She did. She's vegan. My kid's vegan. It all comes down to, I guess your why while you're here on this planet.
I have a question. You said your child was made vegan at birth, right?
Yeah, she's been
Did you give her that choice, or was that
This
something
goes back to the choice.
grew up-
This goes to the choice. It's such a
Yeah, it keeps coming back around. I mean,
Yeah.
if you had a choice, you decided to eat meat, or you were maybe not decided, maybe not fully educated.
Yeah.
Could you argue that she was not fully educated because she's in an environment
Well,
supportive of veganism?
The beautiful thing is that when you know better, you do better. You can agree with that?
Yes.
We know that when we feed kids milk, cheese, meat, and eggs, we know that it's not healthy for them. That is a bad thing.
But what says that?
Well, I mean, I could point to different studies, but I can at least tell you that there's something called cholesterol. You know cholesterol, right?
Yeah,
Plaque
there
limiting
have been a lot
cholesterol.
of recent studies actually have shown that like eating like a ton of eggs does not raise your cholesterol.
There's
That's-
studies on everything. And what's
right,
the
but
primary to all
there's
studies?
also studies
Exactly.
supporting veganism, so,
But-
so we can't use that.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, that's why I like there to be an impasse when we go down this nutrition kind of science thing. But we know cholesterol is a real thing. We know it's something that exists, and we can see it in angiographies, right? We've seen people that are on plant-based diets have their blood vessels from here open up wide away, going from carnivore to whole food plant-based. It's chronicled in plenty of books from the Esselstyns, different plant-based doctors who have chronicled things through the decades. It's not healthy. What's in milk? Lipids, sodiums, proteins, IGF-1, copious amounts of saturated fat, cortisol, everything that's meant for a baby cow, right? To go from, 40 pounds to, how big they get? 900 pounds?
yeah.
That's not good for a human. Come on, we have to use our intuition here. So once we know better, we can do better. And if we're telling a child they have to eat vegan, that is, I mean, if you're not, you're also telling a child, you're forcing them to eat meat if you don't give them a choice along those
So you're
lines.
saying that the
It's a
alternative
forcing.
choice is a morally bad one by definition, so that you don't even go down that
Not
route.
even morally, health and moral.
You don't even go
Yeah.
down that route. But I still think the point of giving somebody the choice to do the bad thing or to do
Yeah.
the good thing is the
Yeah.
most important thing.
Yes,
here.
and I will say this. My daughter's 7, right? What if she grows up and she decides that she wants to eat meat? What kind of fucking power do I have to stop her?
Right, yeah,
Zero.
that's fine, yeah.
Zero, right? But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, already when we talk to her, we ask her questions. She already knows the answer to things. She knows what's in that plastic in the supermarket. We've all been tricked and lied and kind of fed this kind of thing that fosters the cognitive dissonance where we don't see the living being that used to be behind that plastic. But I've had the blessing to be able to share with her that there was a being that was once alive and is behind that plastic. It scares the shit out of her. She's like, why are you doing that? I said, it's the world we live in right now. But it's conversations like this that have to kickstart the real change.
No, yeah,
But
I
also-
appreciate you having the spine to go out here and tell people that. I mean, I'm sure you
Hey,
get,
listen,
a,
I
get a lot of
appreciate you guys
looks.
stopping
like,
and at least giving me some a
Yeah, no,
vessel, a canvas to
I
speak out of.
respect people who stand by their principles.
I'm curious what you think about. So you were talking about the 8-to-1 ratio, right, with the farmland, but you do have to source from like more farms and stuff, right? Because you have to eat much more diverse diet. if
I
you're
don't.
vegan,
You can, I
right?
can mono meal all day. I can do beans all day. You can get every single essential amino acid from a fucking orange. Every single one
So
of
you
them.
can live on. Are you saying you can live on oranges?
I've known a guy that ate potatoes for 3 years.
Yeah,
I've
but
known a
is,
guy
is that healthy?
I'd say it's healthier than eating meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, putting all that plaque-limited cholesterol, hormones, growth factors, the whole gamut into your body. This diet, a raw food vegan diet, is void of all that stuff, and these people are thriving. They don't need vitamins or supplements. Like I said, we can go to default to the studies, the research, the science. We can do it all day. The reason I don't bring it up anymore is because I used to do it, and I used to go in circles and circles and circles. The whole conversation would go off the animals, and I like the detail.
Right. Where can you justify the argument, though? I'm not trying to
Yeah.
downplay anything, but like there has to be a basis to go off of. If we say that, oh, there's a living example of this working out, it might not
Our
be.
intuition.
Is it? Our
But-
intuition is
but what
the
if you have
correct.
the
Our
intuition, the opposite way to yours? Is my question.
Well, who's
I
to
don't
say
think
our
you do.
who's to say our intuition is not
I think
to be a
your
carnivore?
intuition, I would say that your intuition comes from a place of compassion. I would say it comes from a place of love and stewardship for the whole. Now, this could go down into a different, this kind of unpacks a whole nother conversation. But I think if you listen to yourself, you'll notice you can find all the answers within. You don't need outside authorities, because that's what science is. It's an authority that tells you, you're going to follow my orders, you're going to listen to me, this is what I'm saying is right. You have to keep in mind, in capitalistic systems that we're in, there's a primary to every bit of material information that you come across. And what's that primary? It's the funding. And the funding is the bellwether.
I want to make your point to intuition. So if we're falling back on what our body tells us to do, that's going to be like hunter-gatherer, right? So that's like, again, omnivore diet. I
It's something that we did in our trajectory.
But that's
not who
truly,
we
that
are.
would be the most true form of intuition. I think going against your intuition would be to do something abnormal to humans, which I
Yeah.
believe it is, even if you think it is.
Yes, I think
sustainable.
in our primacy, like before, I don't know if you guys are religious or not. I'm not religious.
Okay.
But I can tell you there is a historical trajectory, the point of Genesis to now Revelation, where we're currently at. Not Revelation, but where we're currently at, right? We had to do certain things at a certain point in time. but now we've evolved out of that. The key word is evolution. We've evolved from that where we're smart. We don't need to do these things anymore. We have the tech, we have the agriculture, we have all kinds of ways to feed ourselves on plant-based diets. That what you're pointing to is something we had to do, but I think we've evolved out of that.
I would agree that like some people may have morally evolved in your way of thinking,
Yeah.
but not. I don't think our bodies have adapted to be 100% on plants. Like a cow, they can
Yeah.
eat grass and get all the necessary nutrients, but we're like,
Yeah.
we're not evolved to
Yeah.
do that.
Who's
I
to
would
say
say-
that we fully evolved?
So,
yet?
going
I
back
would
to
say we're
intuition-
frugivores. I wouldn't even say we're
Going
on
back-
the, herbivores.
But
Yeah.
going back to intuition, like if our body is physically made to be digesting those things, isn't that the true form?
Let me ask you a question. When you're driving, when you see a roadkill on the side of the road, you see a dead animal, does that make you hungry? What is your intuition?
No,
guide you?
because we're not trained. Like we haven't been,
But, I mean,
hunting since
like,
we
yeah,
grew up.
but
We're se-
I don't
we're
know. You're
separated.
pointing to the fact where you probably should, since we have this intuition. It doesn't make me hungry. If I'm driving by, it looks disgusting. But when I see like an apple or an orange or some beautiful, fresh fruit, show a baby fresh fruit. What is they reach for that fruit. They don't reach for the live animal. That's another bellwether of our
But
intuition.
I think something humans have evolved to do is eat like cooked protein. So because like cooking gives them more nutrients, and with like
Actually, it strips nutrients.
well, it could go both ways because it makes it more digestible and it does take some nutrients. So
Also-
I agree both ways.
Yeah.
But as we like created fire and stuff, we're like able to do that. I would say that like we have evolved to be better off consuming cooked foods rather than
our
like
body is
say,
trained for that. You're
right,
saying that
rather than like raw, even raw vegetables.
the argument
or
can be
anything.
made. I mean, it's been how many thousands of years have we been cooking food?
Yeah.
And who's to say how much time does it take for us to fully evolve into feeling that way about certain things?
I mean, I guess all you can go by is what you see, right? I mean, there's so many vegans out there now. There's what 1-2% of us. I mean, that's on par with around 80 to 160 million individuals that are fully vegan and that are thriving, right? If there was a problem, we'd know by now.
Okay.
But again, everyone has an agenda, so you can always show the best parts. And I'm not fully
Yeah.
convinced that, like, for example, on straight potatoes, you could be 100% healthy.
Yeah.
Because there are, like, if you're working out, you're breaking down your muscles, you do need protein to repair that. I don't know how many potatoes it would take to meet the amount of protein you need to like repair your muscles. Just with
How much
one
protein do
example.
you need per day as a male?
A gram per pound of body weight, probably.
No. I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna contest, I'm gonna fight you on this. 45 to 65.
So it depends on
Well,
your fitness activity.
Your needs.
I would say yes. What he said.
Are you-
If you are an athlete?
Are you an active person?
I distance run, so I do
okay.
run.
So you understand that you need your body feels terrible if you don't.
If you're
properly
doing all
nutri-
this to your body and you're
Right.
incurring this on your body, if bodybuilders do it, you're going to have to put the reflective amount of energy back. But 1 gram per, that's too much, way too much. If you're a bodybuilder, maybe that's okay. Maybe if you're really lifting and you're there's no need to do that. But
I'm
if
curious
you,
what says, that's too much.
well, it's 1 gram per day. I mean, just. It just, I won't say, I'm not going to point you to studies, I'm not going to point you to
Right.
research.
Is it based on intuition that you feel that?
Or is
that-
it
It's not
anecdotal?
only intuition. Intuition will tell you
well,
that.
your body
but-
is telling you that you feel better
Yeah,
this way. Is
but
that,
why is it that precision-tuned granular protein that I need? Why is
It's
it that
just,
you know
it's
you
just
need?
a guidance for.
Yeah,
your
I don't think
lifestyle.
it applies to every person to the T. I think everyone's different. Like you can have high blood pressure, what a doctor would consider
Yeah.
high blood pressure, but it's totally normal for your
Well,
body.
I
It's
guess
totally
okay.
peak for you.
I guess what I would kind of break this because we're a little impasse here and kind of dive right back to this. What are all the people that are filling up the wings of hospitals? Like, we'll say the med surg units, right? They're filled with people. What are the biggest 3 diseases that those people
Oh
have?
god, probably heart disease.
Yeah.
Number 1,
I don't know what else.
Diabetes.
Cancers. Yeah,
type 2,
Yeah.
and then cancers.
Yeah.
All these things are of overconsumption. They're from eating too much fat and cholesterol.
But
Where is all that in?
processed,
Is it also-
this is processed foods? It's not necessarily.
It's animal foods. Animal foods are processed.
You can't-
It's
you can't say-
bigger than
you have
the
a-
plant-based meats,
But
the
how
process
about-
that they go through.
Right, plant-based meats though, I would argue are much worse because
No,
they
no,
add
no.
they add lots of artificial stuff like super high sodium, super high in fats, just to get that taste that's similar to meat.
Yeah,
Right?
but if you look at the process of the goes through when you're buying meat. You're getting loads of cholesterol. How much cholesterol is in plant-based meat?
I'm not sure.
0.
Yeah.
What is plant-based meat? It's vitamins, minerals, water. It's fats. It's basically 5 things, right? What do they do? What creates that process?
But a lot of chemicals to go
Which
along with
chemicals?
that. I'm not sure, but
And you
I'm
got to
just
tell me if
saying-
you're going to lament it. You got to tell me which ones. There's no chemicals that go into it.
Okay,
And
so you're
it
saying
gets
it's
run
like
through.
it's like 5 ingredients. You're saying?
No. There's 5 things that meat's made out of.
But
And
how do you
what
know
they do is
this
copy and
without?
paste
Where do you get your data from? If you're
The
listing
in-
these
the ingredient list.
the ingredient list of the
Just-
product you're
yeah,
using, right?
yeah.
So some company or organization made this. How do you know what they're saying is true?
Exactly, and once again, it goes back to here's your bellwether. How much money goes towards animal ag?
Of course,
every
there's
year?
always lobbyists.
What are the subsidies? What's the amount that goes towards animal ag every year? Do you have any idea?
No,
No.
probably
Idea?
millions.
More than that. We're looking north of 45 billion right now. So you've heard the idea of follow the money, right? Do you think that can lead you to any degree of truth?
So what I'm getting at is what I'm hearing from you is that lobbyists want people to stay unhealthy so that they can feed the medical industry,
revolving door.
pharmaceuticals,
The revolving door,
and
yeah.
whatnot. But isn't there not an industry for veganism?
It's not an industry. I mean, it is if you're looking at like
I mean,
Beyond
who
Meat.
makes the
I'm not
products?
here to tell you to eat Beyond Meat, by the way. That's
No,
not my
yeah,
MO.
yeah.
But yeah, there's businesses. Yes, but
There's,
you can.
there's lobbyists on your
But
side,
here's,
there's lobbyists on our
but here's the
side.
beautiful thing, and it's yes or no. Can you patent a plant-based diet? Can you patent a plant-based diet?
Can you patent an animal diet?
Yes, in many things that are involved in it.
What law
you
says that you can't
You
patent?
can patent all kinds of stuff regarding vitamins and supplements. You can patent tons of things as far as different things that have been extrapolated from animals that now they're calling something scientific. The whole revolving door of science, animal ag, and pharma, there's tons and tons of patents in the line. But a plant-based diet is the biggest threat to these companies. The biggest threat, because you could
Oh.
never patent spinach.
I 100%
You know-
agree. It will if 30% of the population became vegan, it would
Yeah.
be a huge blow. To
Yeah.
and these people are already powerful and they control so much already. Totally agree.
Yeah, yeah,
However, there are people on the other side that do want to support what you have going on, and they're riding this trend that they can make a lot of money. It comes back to human greed. They can make a lot of money off of this.
Can you give me some anecdotes of those people?
No, can you give me anecdotes about these people?
Tons. As far as like the meat industry, look at Purdue, look at Tyson, look at
Right, but
Merck.
again, we
That's a
all
pharma
have
company.
We all have our
studies
studies.
versus studies.
I'm not
that's
going
the
with
problem.
studies. I'm not going to any studies. I'm just telling you to follow the money.
Where do you
That's
get
it.
where do you get your information from?
We mean you can read things for yourself and look at it
So
through your
somebody
eyes.
is feeding you information. Of
Your-
course, they're
your
on
own
your side.
intuition. You want to look to yourself. You don't want to just look to an outside external authority
Right.
for your information. That's the whole
So does-
underlying thing of this
Does
conversation.
intuition tell you what lip soy or whatever is inside this plant or whatever? Does intuition tell you that, or are
Yes.
you told that
You
from
know
somebody?
that it's something you're supposed to eat.
Of course, and
But
Yeah.
how do you know which ones?
How do you know what
going back
exactly
to
is in it?
How we trust intuition? How do we know if you don't go into the forest, you could pick up a random plant and say, "I'm going to eat this" versus die?
we
That's
can't
like
possibly be as
learned
educated
human.
as we are without
I mean,
other
that's an
experts
extreme
telling
case.
us.
Well, we don't need experts. I'm telling you, once we lean on authorities, we've given up our sovereignty, our autonomy. We're saying, you know what? Now I can be a number. You
Right.
can control me. And
I agree. There's definitely a
I'm
boundary with
conceding
that.
you know?
But are you saying that law? This is going into a totally different argument.
Law, yeah.
Law is something we abide by because we all have a social contract.
We've come up with a collective idea,
Right, and it's for the benefit.
structure.
It's for the benefit of everyone. And while it's not perfect, and there's people who take advantage.
Sorry.
Are you good? There's people that take advantage of it. You can definitely argue that it's been for the best so far.
I don't know. I think that's a conversation to get into. I think that underneath all law is money once again.
Of course,
and,
we agree.
and it drives everything. And you really can't, you have to question everything when you're on this planet.
Oh, totally
as a human.
agree. Yeah.
I would not put my trust in anything of law. I would not put my trust in anything of government structure.
Does that give
anything
you the
of
right
military.
to disobey the law then?
Well, disobeying the law. I mean, if it's something that's unjust, I'm a champion of disobeying the law.
Right.
If they are making a law of something unjust, like it's illegal to release animals from factory farms. Am I going to be against somebody that wants to do that? Hell no, because they're oppressing those fucking animals. They're taking their sovereignty. But that's the law. They have to
But
be protected
is that
because the
power-
farmer needs that money.
Is that paramount to the farmer's well-being?
It is. It is because the farmer can find another job. The farmer can cry me a river
But
with
who
all
says-
this, oh, my
who says
money
he
and my
can actually
livelihood.
Find another job. Like this could be like his last chance. You know?
Well, the thing is, what about that? Once again, we're taking away the choice
There's so
of
many
the
variables
animal
here.
outlook. Once again, we're speaking for them. We're not even speaking for the ones
Right.
that
So-
have no voice.
To that, I would say like again to the religion thing, I think like veganism essentially is a religion that
Yeah.
in a way like worships the animals.
This is what we've been taught, though. What you're saying, when you frame it like it's a religion, you've been taught to see it that way.
No,
you
that's-
have been
that's
taught
an
to see it that way.
opinion I've
But
just
it comes from, it's not an opinion, I'm telling you, you've been taught down underneath. If you unpack it and you look down, you'll notice that, do you have any pets?
No.
Have you ever had any?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dogs.
Would you agree that when you looked at that pet or your animal, that there was someone behind those eyes?
I mean, that's a strange way of putting it, but like,
I definitely
I don't
think
think
there's
so.
a point you're trying to make here is that that
We-
we do
what-
see
what I'm saying-
intuitively we see
Yeah.
a point, a purpose in these animals. I was in Vietnam and I saw caged dogs, and that affected me way more than seeing caged chickens, for instance. Because
Yeah, yeah.
I agree, we're trained to see that.
We're trained to see them as, and what I'm saying, when I say taught, I mean that, I mean this and underlie this whole conversation with the greatest mutual respect, right? I say
Right,
you've been
right.
taught to see them as numbers and not sentient beings that are on our level, right? That are capable of the same capacities we are capable of.
Are they on our level?
Going back to what we were saying, okay, so
Does
if,
God
if
say-
that's
if you
the
were
case,
religious-
like, we have this binary outlay. Okay, we're on a higher level. We have two choices. Do we want to protect them or do we want to exploit them? What would you say?
I think that's
Exploit them. Because
Why?
we're on a higher level, so,
So-
our well-being comes first before the
So
animals.
might is right, I guess. That's what you're saying.
Well, that's a way of framing it. That's the way you've been trained to say it. So we all
that,
have.
I think that's a spade a spade.
We have all our, we have all our
I think that's
little
called a
things.
spade a spade.
Yeah, but if you're a religious
like-
person, God says that humans are superior to
Are
animals.
you guys
And
religious?
I'm not quite religious. I'm
Okay.
Catholic, but I'm not like.
At least we're all in the same boat there.
Yeah.
I'm not religious either.
I mean, I definitely think there's certain aspects of religion that have been modified and corrupted, and so I see to your point that not everything is to be trusted. You shouldn't just obey just to obey.
Yeah.
But I do think there are certain precedents we live by that that are not. We can't just rely on intuition alone.
Intuition, I would contest that. I think it eclipses all things. And it's just something for you guys to think about moving forward. And I know you can say, oh, you're...
Yeah, we can run in circles with this. Like,
yeah, but you know better. You know when you listen to yourself and you sit down, you know.
but again, I
deep
think
down
it's
there.
just taking a moral high ground, saying like we must protect the animals, and like we're also better than people who eat meat because they don't understand.
And that's what we don't want it. And that's one of the goals that I don't
of course,
want
you
it.
don't want to be confrontational. About
Well,
it.
well, we want it to be a team effort, to not point to the individual, but to point to how we've been fooled by the proper narratives, because that's really the crux of what's happening here. And they love division. They love the animal activists that go out there and piss people off, and that come from that moral high ground and say, I'm better, blah, 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 because that divides us, right? That says, now I can divide you, now you can be manipulated. Going back to the whole science thing where we're dividing all the vitamins and minerals, whatever, that's just a little peripheral. But they want us divided. They thrive on division, and that's the divide and conquer play, right? People are easily controlled when they're divided.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah.
there's also vegan like extremists
Yes.
you're suggesting who like work against your point.
Yes.
Are there extremists that you like? What are some opinions that they have that you don't agree with?
Ways
Like
of,
for our education,
certain ways of outreach, I've watched
not
certain-
principally, just the way they
But-
do it.
well,
is what
the
you're
way
saying.
they do it. Yes,
I want to
exactly.
say, so we're talking about the extremes here. So
Yeah.
it's okay to free like the animals, right, from a
Yes,
cage.
yes.
Well, what's not okay?
What's not okay as far as
You got a flag?
Oh, thank you.
thank
sir.
Carolyn
Appreciate
over
it.
there got some leftovers.
you.
all right, let's go
Vegan.
vegan, man. 2025.
Yep.
All right. Hey, if he's gonna be an activist, I can
I mean,
be
this
an
is
activist
vegan,
too.
I hope too, right? I don't know.
It's a church. When going back, what were you saying just now?
I was saying, so we're talking about extremists.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's okay to free like animals from cages on a truck, right?
Yes.
So what is not okay?
Well,
What are they doing that?
Like as far as
I think that's a broad.
No,
It's very broad.
You were saying there are extremists who are working against your point because they're doing
Yeah.
things too extreme. So what is?
Oh, we
too
got one
extreme?
right.
now,
Thank you.
now as far as like stuff like that, if what's being harmed is somebody's livelihood over a life, I'm sorry, but fuck that livelihood. I'm with let's take and save sovereign lives over somebody putting new rims on their car or buying whatever for their whatever. You know what I'm saying?
But is it equal to the suffering that they might have? Is suffering, is human suffering, if their livelihood was taken away and they have no money to feed their
Because,
family?
I mean,
is
jobs are
suffering?
ubiquitous. I mean, we can find
I know,
other
but there's
jobs where we're not
also- there's
oppressing
almost-
others.
There are.
So
It's not just
around the
America
world,
we're talking
it's
about.
not-
Sir, have you traveled abroad, sir?
I have.
Yeah. Where have you gone, sir?
I've gone I've gone everywhere from Europe, Mexico. I've gone to China. I've probably been a little more.
Okay, and you've
Most,
seen people
I
in
guess.
extreme poverty, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
And would you have the heart to tell them to do this, give away their one form of, making
Yes.
money, so that they can pursue this principle? The
Once
argument's
again,
going to be difficult for
they've
them.
all been tricked by profit narratives. So, in the spirit of love and compassion, I am going to tell them that. I am going to tell them what they're doing is fucking wrong. I'm absolutely going to do that. And if somebody's going to make a change, they're going to make a change. They're going to steep with things because it is fucking wrong. There's no arguing this when it comes down to what we're taking from somebody else. We can obfuscate, rationalize, gymnastics, all we want. We can point to geography. We can appeal to culture. But at the end of the day, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is when you put your ballot in that cash register, you're voting for violence, rape, spitting, kicking, all this stuff to happen on your watch and saying this is the change I'm going to leave in the world. So those people in those geographical regions, they might be doing the best they can, right? And if they can, like I said, if you're doing the best you can, you're vegan, but if there's a bit or breath where you can change and be a better person, you got to fucking do it, man. Because you only get one embodied life, that's it.
But again, you're saying just find a job, right? Where there's like a huge job crisis.
And you know why? And you know why everything's non-vegan as far as jobs, right? Because of subsidies, because we're voting for it. We're doing this to ourselves. And we're putting those people that are working on those farms, we're fucking them up in the head too, because they got to see all this stuff all day. So we're traumatizing them. They're going home, they're beating their wives, they're beating their kids. Domestic violence is the highest within that space and sect of people, the people that work in farms, factory farms. The other ones are no better, but the factory farm workers, they have to see violence all day. Imagine what that does to your psyche.
I'd wager that the amount of human suffering it would take to undo all of the, if you call it a cage, to undo all that we have done to ourselves is greater than any amount of benefit that we can have by reverting to veganism. But that's just my opinion.
Can you distill that? Like, is not as long-winded.
I can't quantify that.
No. I mean, like, what do you mean when you say that? You mean that
all the people who will spend time jobless, all the people who could die if we just decided to flip the system, and it maybe if
it's going to be more efficient on every level for everybody.
There will come a point.
And if you believe in that, you got to be vegan, or it's hypocritical moving forward.
But can you not see the amount of suffering that people have from just flipping their system and going down this path, right? The amount of suffering of that is much greater than any amount of suffering animals can have.
Do you know how many animals are killed per year?
Because of our intelligence, right? That's what makes our suffering great.
Animals have no idea that they're being farmed, for instance. So if you put humans in a farm, then the amount of suffering would be much greater because we're intelligent beings.
Would you say with great power comes great responsibility, though? Have you ever heard this?
Of course, I've heard that mantra.
You've seen
all
Spider-Man?
The time. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Just copy and paste it to that. So instead of just looking for all these reasons, just copy and paste it. Listen to yourself, guys. Like you'll notice if you listen to yourself. I'm a big champion of meditating. I meditate for X amount of time every single day.
Right.
When you're walking around like this in this kind of waking version of life, you don't learn anything. You're not listening to yourself. Well, you got to meditate. You have to listen to your thoughts, or listen to yourself at least an hour.
I agree.
There's
There's
half
a
an
degree
hour
of
a day.
irrationality most accept in this world.
Yeah.
But I want to go down the path of rationality and using reason rather than intuition to solve my problems.
But
I do
rationality
agree.
is what they want you to use.
I think rationality is an integral part to being a human. That's why we've come so far.
And rational, you know what ration means? It means divide, right? When you ration.
Ration
Division
in that
is what
English
they
is
thrive off of.
Yes,
language
but
is
that's
language is
That's
interpretive.
the context you're using it. You're like
That's what it
looking
is.
into the word.
Yeah, I
It's
am
in the
unpacking it a
context,
bit.
right.
Yeah.
Language is
But
interpretive, and if you
I spend
ration,
time
yes.
with this stuff. Yeah.
Ration is a definition for ration, but there are multiple definitions. I've been talking about rational, as in like your psyche, your mind, and that has nothing to do with division.
And
It does.
I do want to say that. So we're going back to intuition. That the rationale is what
I really like this
got humans
conversation.
so far.
This isn't the conversation you go into a bar and then you start having. This has to happen on the outside.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut
out
you
in the
off.
cold.
Through trial and error, like humans have realized like what's edible, what's not edible, what could be used as like some kind of medicinal medicine over thousands of years, right? And that's using rationale. That killed that guy. Okay, that we shouldn't eat that. This is healthy for us because,
I think what eclipses what you're saying, though. Have
But
you heard
that's
of
rationale.
Have you heard of herderism?
No, I haven't.
Herding. Do you know when the first herd of animals was instantiated? When somebody said they're no longer a being, they're a number. Guess how long ago that happened?
Can you even quantify that?
10,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago, and it was in Iraq, and that's when the first shepherd kind of took the first bit of livestock and decided. Okay, and then all of a
Did his
sudden,
intuition say?
all of a sudden, I think money said it. The lust for more
but you
control,
think
more power.
who really knows is the question.
Well, I mean, like I said, this
That's what
book,
happens
the
when you
book
don't
on the
have
card,
it.
the World Peace Diet, Will breaks it all down for you easy. And he goes back, he does a little history, and he comes back to philosophy, and he goes to current context, but he talks about herderism.
Okay.
And you know, you want to, just like, I mean, just listen to yourselves, guys.
But honestly, I am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not drawn to...
10,000 years ago, they started off this thing called herderism.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they realized we can make tons of fucking money doing this. And they sure did.
Yeah, I
and
think
it hasn't stopped at all. It's becoming more gluttonous, more just exacerbated. We harvest everything from the animal to every single part of them, and we find a way to fucking monetize
Would you say
it,
it's
right?
born out completely out of vice?
It was born completely out of a lust for power. People weren't even
Right.
judged.
So, but
for-
you're denying the fact that it's born out of a need to survive.
Yes, it was not. It kind of tilted into new frontiers of monetization, commercialization, and industrialization.
Right.
Did the
But
native-
at
This
that
is what
point,
this
do you
did.
think they had the capability to farm the necessary,
Yeah. Did the
plants
Native
to-
Americans? Many of them did do farming, but most of them did go out and herd bison, herd animals.
Yeah.
And for how many millennia did they do
We've
that?
done a lot of stuff. In fact, we did rape, we did pillage, we did all kinds of things that I don't know. Do you think, like, your intuition will
Yeah.
tell you if something's wrong?
But
Do you
I think-
rape is wrong?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
but I
course.
think there was a point in time when intuition told them this is the right thing to do.
Right.
They were not
I
educated,
don't think
yeah,
they
but
really had a choice.
who's to say that
There
education
are-
is either right, is
like,
the good path or the bad
There's
path?
trajectories, that we've been on since, space and time begun. I mean, they might not have had a choice, but you have a choice, and you have a choice. You can go to Chipotle right now and you can say, I vote for my values. I vote for being a protector and a guardian. I can easily do that. And we can't go on that excuse like, because they did it, we can still do it. Because they did it, because we evolved to do it, we can still do it. We can't get away with that, guys. We
Would
gotta
you
keep
go
each
to-
other to account.
Would you go to the
Nowadays.
reservation and say their history is wrong because they herded animals?
Would I do that? If I mean, I'm not trying to get killed.
No,
You know?
I know,
You know
but
what I mean?
if you were a
Yeah.
principled person